The controversy would be whether or not this is a necessary surgery. The medical field has asserted that this is not elective surgery. This is corrective. It's putting the right person in the right body.
The pain of living in a space and in a body that doesn't represent who you really are is a terrible, terrible. It's like every single day you get out of bed and you hope that overnight you became the person on the outside that you felt like on the inside, but you don't. You don't. You wake up every day in a horrible mask of pain, and then you get to make choices. Do I dress like this? Do I dress like that? Is there going to be a bathroom I can use? Am I going to get beat up today? Am I going to get made fun of today? It's legal to fire me. It's legal to throw me out of my apartment. Now, these things have changed, but the pain of waking up not being who you want to project to the world is still very real. So both as a transsexual and as a person who's worked with students for my entire adult life, I can assure you as a campus member, as a visitor, as a potential student or staff or faculty member, these are very, very important issues. And the people who have these conditions or issues really need your support and your affection and your understanding.
So as a therapist, I work here at UIC, which provides a short-term therapy model. And so ultimately what we provide here at UIC's Counseling Center is we work with students to address a variety of mental and emotional health concerns. These could be specific to identity development, but there are also other issues, depression, anxiety. I'm very mindful that students who identify as transgender experience a great deal of discrimination or prejudice, even ignorance. And it's important for us to educate ourselves, educate others. And so in my role as a therapist, I think it's important to be able to speak to the policy, speak to the insurance plan, and talk to students really, how can I support them? It's very true that because our treatment is short-term in nature, we're not able to be with the student throughout their entire transition. But what we can do at various points is provide support, provide encouragement, and provide connections to the appropriate resources and appropriate referral options.
But with the campus care contract coming through family medicine, really my goal is to create capacity within family medicine. So I think the changes that you're talking about are that this policy change will drive the need for change in expertise, change in depth, change in kind of provider services, if you will.
I am a therapist who believes in affirming diversity, affirming difference. I want students to feel like they belong. I want them to feel safe and comfortable in their skin. And so that in whatever topic we need to address in therapy, whether that's the impact of family or society or culture, the financial impacts, I mean, I'm very mindful that any hormone therapy or sex reassignment therapy, like these things are gonna be quite expensive, emotionally draining, emotionally taxing. There's going to be a lot of questions, and so I think as a therapist I can be available to support, provide answers to those questions, even learn answers to those questions from the students.
The medical school class size is pretty large. It's about 200 per year. We have a very diverse medical school. For example, we train more underrepresented minorities than any other medical school than like Howard or Meharry, so I'm very proud of that diverse mission. Within the LGBT population, we have a few students here and there. I think those are all good things to speak to the fact that there might be a receptive culture to learn about LGBT health and trans health. I think some of the barriers might be, some perhaps vocal minority of wondering why is this education for all providers versus, for example, maybe perhaps being an elective for certain providers, meaning certain medical students. And my opinion on that so far as the Associate Dean for Curriculum and a former director in kind of the largest course in the first 2 years of medical school was that there's an element of some base that you need for all providers. At least the sensitivity piece, the cultural competence piece, the cultural humility, kind of how to triage and field questions, how to address patients. Those interpersonal communication skills are a base for everyone. And so that's how I've approached the curriculum design to date. Now with these trans services, it's a little bit of a more advanced, sophisticated level of detail than perhaps maybe in the first year or two, but there might be a way in the third year or in the fourth year to bring in some of that to either some required curricular experience for all students or creating a bona fide LGBT elective. My current thinking right now is there's a lot of really good free public domain websites and informational resources. So namely the UCSF Center of Excellence for Transgender Care, really nicely laid out website. I attended one of the meetings of the Gay and Lesbian Medical Association where they demonstrated the utility of the website. And then secondly, they actually pointed out there's a trans care kind of hotline or a warm line where if providers have questions around trans care, they can submit their question and within about 48 business hours they can get answers. So I think working on the protocols, particularly the protocol section from the UCSF Center of Excellence for Transgender Care, and then having outside resources and specialists to help us, so like the warm line nationally or local experts, of which I have several that I've been collecting and passing on to you that can serve as mentors and guiders for us to develop that capacity, I think would be really key.